Hey guys, my name is Joel. I'm here with Tyrone Daniel, who is my dad, and we're just going to be talking for a few minutes about the next generation because I believe it's a vital thing in the church and in what we're doing around the world. It's important that we're involving young people, investing in young people, and using young people. So I'm excited about the next generation that's already coming through. We're already seeing big things. It's a big season for us as NCMI, but also as young people stepping up into our godly calling. So maybe can we talk for a few minutes about the next generation, about what we see, what we believe, and what we're hoping for. So if you could maybe start us off, just how are we involving the young people, and why should we involve the young people?
Well, that's a good question. It's also my son. I'm very stoked to have my son, one of my sons here, involved with this. How we're involving you, I'm letting you interview me. How about that? But I'm delighted. We are incredibly grateful to God for what He's doing globally, but also what He's doing in families and with our families and young people. For us, we're not about our thing, and when we're done, we give it to the next generation. One of the things God spoke to myself and my wife, Nicole, 15 years ago when we were handed this team, the leadership of this team, was God said to me that if you want to build build for the next generation, we got to build with the next generation. And so we've taken that on board. I don't know if we've done that extremely well, but it's definitely something we've been intentional about. And for me, I don't want to, as I said, we don't want to do our thing, and when our seasons are over and that, let's look for a generation to transition into. God's way is, God is a generational God. And if we are a prophetic people, we understand God's a God of not just weeks, months, and years, but actually generations. God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we want to build together with the young guys, young and old. It's not about young, it's not about old. It's about God's people doing what God's called us to. And so for us, we don't want to restrict anyone because of age or skill or even, to be honest, experience. I know a lot of people use scripture that we shouldn't release people because of the young novices, but I don't believe that's necessarily what that scripture is saying. And again, age should not be a barrier, certainly not in the kingdom. And so if there were kings who were 10 and 12-year-olds, Timothy was a young man, I believe, because Paul said, do not let people look down on you because you're young. And he was an apostle doing apostolic work. So for us, it's not a barrier. It's about working together with young people. It's involving them. We've always tried to do that. You guys planting with us. When we planted our church, we had our young family together. You were involved to some degree in your age and you grew up. The church is today what it is, the church we planted, because of your involvement and investment. NCMI is, and we delight. May I just say this? We are so delighted that our kids, our sons, and it's global, a lot of our team guys, their children want to serve with us. They don't want to go do their thing or start another thing. They want to serve God, which is awesome, and they want to serve God with us in what God's doing with us. And so I think for us, it's the authenticity we got to work with, the reality, it's the recognizing of gifts, what God's doing, and using and giving opportunity for young guys and older people in all capacities. And so for us, we're really excited about just seeing the young guys come through. You know, we're doing these Rise Up conferences, which is really cool, or Looking Up conferences, which is cool. But we also want to see young guys involved in our equips, which we sing, and preaching there and being involved, recognized, traveling and ministering in churches, young elders, young business people, whatever their age be. And so we've tried to be, with intentionality, focused on all people, but certainly young people, and including them in what we do.